As we all know, there has been a lot of discourse surrounding physical media and the unfortunate inevitability of a digital only future that absolutely nobody wants. It's like ever since Sony announced that they were getting rid of physical discs for future games beginning January 2028, it was essentially all downhill for the company starting from July 1st. And since then, things have only gotten worse and worse and worse. Because one thing I didn't realize is that Sony actually owns Crunchyroll. I don't know if I knew that before and I just forgot about it, or if I never knew. But considering that they own Crunchyroll is crazy because now they are limiting. I don't think they're getting rid of, but they're limiting physical media for people. Like they've just gotten rid of Black Lagoon. You can't stream Black Lagoon anymore, and you can't, for some reason, access the Crunchyroll store because the store is hidden behind a paywall that I wasn't aware of. Unless that was something that just happened recently, which in that case, that is very scummy. Especially when you consider that Crunchyroll killed their biggest competitor, Right Stuff, which was the greatest place to buy manga and anime and all kinds of merchandise. And they absorbed the company like Mega Man absorbs weapons after destroying Wily's robots. I think the last time I actively purchased any sort of manga or anime from Right Stuff was back in 2023 when the company was still around. I was always looking to see what was on sale during the summer because during the summer they have their biggest sale of the year besides Black Friday and Christmas and all that stuff, because those were always the best times to buy manga and anime. And now I don't even think they have those big summer sales, or I'm not sure if they have those big Black Friday or Christmas sales either. I'm not even too familiar with how the Crunchyroll store works because I'm not sure if it's even the same as Right Stuff. I don't even know what the whole reason was behind that. I don't know why they absorbed Right Stuff in the first place. And speaking of company absorption, I just remembered that Funimation was absorbed into Crunchyroll, which means that if Sony is limiting physical media for Crunchyroll branded products, then that means that could also affect the Funimation stuff. This whole thing is a massive mess. It's getting so difficult to support Sony. A lot of people have already canceled their, unsubscribed from PS Plus. People have lost their accounts actually, and they are no longer able to play the games that they downloaded. And apparently, if you don't log into your PSN for 10 years, then you will lose everything, I guess. And it's just, which means that the money that you paid for the games that you purchased are no longer there because the license expired, I guess. It's so dumb, bro. Like, why would you set it up like that? Like, I've got plenty of games in my closet that I haven't played in over 10 years. Do you think those games are just gonna expire on me because I've been leaving them in my closet? Do you think my PS2 or GameCube memory cards are going to expire on me because I haven't saved any data on there in years and 10 years? Is there some sort of chip in my memory cards that will trigger a silent alarm that will send somebody on a tow truck to break inside my house and take my games out of my closet and take them back to the company and dispose of them somehow so that I will never be able to play those games again. Well, the thing is, it's too bad because they can't do that. Nobody can do that because we own the things that we physically buy. We buy physical media. We own that physical media. And that makes them angry, I suppose, because they can't control people who purchase things as stores. They can't control people that buy physical things because they know that they can't take that away from them. They want to make sure that you don't own anything and you are happy with it. And you know, it's so ironic how Sony just announced that they're getting rid of physical discs for the PlayStation. Well, I guess specifically PlayStation, but still, it's under Sony, so... And Sony is being a terrible company all around because, like, as I mentioned with the Crunchyroll stuff, this is anti-consumerism of the highest order. Like, this is the same company that has made one of the most revolutionary, well, two of the most revolutionary video game systems ever made, with the PlayStation being able to play CDs, put video games on CDs, and then they could play the game. They could pop the disc out and put a CD in and listen to the CD while playing the game. Well, there were a select few games that could do that, but the point still stands. Then you got the PS2 with one of the greatest video game libraries you will ever see, and the ability to play DVDs. It is a freaking DVD player and a CD player. It can also play PS1 games. It's the most definitive system to have. You can't do anything wrong. You can't go wrong at all. They did sort of go wrong with the PS3. It was almost a really good system, and then they got rid of the ability to play PS2 games. That's probably the first anti-consumer thing that they've done with any PlayStation console. And it only got worse with the PS4 because you can't play PS3 games on that system at all. Neither can you play PS3 games on PS5. The only way you can play PS1 or PS2 games on either of those systems is by buying them again if they're available. There used to be a time when digital media was an option, an alternative to buying stuff physically. Like, in some cases, buying stuff digitally was the cheaper option. You would just get whatever it was, and you would get your fill somehow. You don't get the complete package, but you get what you pay for. But if you were to buy whatever it is physically, you get the whole package. You pay a little more money. Well, it depends on the product, but you get to keep it. You don't have to worry about not being able to consume that product. Whether it's a book, an album to one of your favorite artists, or a movie, or a TV show, if you were to buy that stuff physically, nobody could take that away from you. And you would also get all the extra content that comes with it. And people have lost their libraries of movies and TV shows due to licensing issues, even though these companies should be able to just renew the licenses, I guess. I mean, I don't work in these companies. Maybe they know something that I don't. that we don't, but I don't know. I'll probably never know how that stuff works. But the fact of the matter is that that is no excuse as to why people should not be allowed to consume those products anymore, because they spent their money on that stuff and they can't even consume that anymore because the license is expired, and they just get to take that stuff away, just pull the plug on those products that consumers have purchased. I remember buying a concert movie on YouTube about a year or two ago. It was like $10, and I thought that when I bought it, I was gonna be able to keep it. And one day, probably a week or two later, or maybe even a month, I tried to go to my library to look for it. It disappeared. It's not there anymore. It's as if I never purchased it in the first place. It was as if it never existed. And it was just all a part of my imagination. It was just gone. No refund. $10 down the drain. That $10 could have gone to much better use if I had known that it was just gonna one day disappear on me. I will never digitally purchase a TV show or movie ever again if I'm not going to even be able to, especially if I'm not even going to be able to keep it. I don't even know if I could comfortably buy games digitally anymore without living on eggshells, wondering if the game is just going to get taken away from me, and all the money I spent on that game is just going to go down the drain. It's so ironic that Sony is trying to get rid of physical media for the PlayStation. It's so ironic that they're trying to get rid of physical media and only 27% of PS5 sales are digital consoles. And PlayStation Network just got finished experiencing a lot of issues, such as account management, gaming, and social, PlayStation Video, PlayStation Store, PlayStation Direct. And the crazy thing is, Sony knew that people would be pissed off about this whole situation, and they're still going to stick to their decision. They're still going to show people who's boss, I guess. They don't really care about their consumers. They don't care how many followers, how many consumers and fans that they lose. They don't care. They're just gonna stick with what they're going to do. This company is becoming a full-blown oxymoron, because how can you be greedy and yet hate money at the same time? I'll tell you one thing. I am not going to buy a PS6 if it's not going to have a disc drive. I refuse to purchase a video game console that doesn't have the ability to insert physical games so that you can play them. And apparently there is a controller patent that showcases a controller with no physical buttons. What is happening? Let's make this conversation a little bit deeper for a second. Can you imagine if stores stopped selling physical Bibles? Whew. Physical media for the win. I will never stop supporting physical media. I will never stop supporting ownership. If Sony wants to go down this path, I will not follow. I will try to continue to support the games for as long as I can, because there are some games that I'm looking forward to playing. But I guess we're just gonna have to see how far that support is going to go in Sony's case. There's a saying going around: if buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing, because it feels like they are taking our money from us, and in the long run we get nothing in return. You owe nothing and you will be happy. Piracy is not something that I support, but what Sony is doing to video games is no better than that. It should be illegal to not be able to own anything that you don't purchase with your own hard-earned money. I'll never forget the times when I was growing up, whenever I would go to Target or Walmart, I would always beg my mom or dad to let me go to the video game aisle just to look at the video games on the shelves. Video games that I probably wasn't even going to be able to buy or wasn't even going to be able to play, but I would still look at them on the shelf anyway because I just liked looking at video games. When I scroll through the PlayStation Store and just to look for video games, it does not hit the same as it used to when I would actually go into the stores and look at the video game shelves. I also remember when they had the demos on the TVs, and you could just play the demo discs and like see what games were on there, and you could check out whatever game you wanted to play that you might be interested in. It's just not the same anymore. Even when you go into a store, it's so lifeless compared to what it used to be. And then there's the what's another word for that I can use other than magic? There's the beauty of parents recording their kids opening up their presents and finding video games that they've wanted, being able to open up those video games for Christmas, and the video game consoles. In the future, a lot of kids are not going to be able to do that. Someday I'll probably start a family and I'll have children one day, and I would hate the idea that I won't be able to go to the store and buy video games for my kids and surprise them with video games for Christmas and watch and record them opening up their games, because all the games will just be available on digital storefronts. It's just not gonna be the same. I mean, it's not even the same now. But I think that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Have a blessed day.